in defiance of its democratic principles, pays a terrible price. Its officials must spin an ever more complex web of lies that in the end weakens the bonds of trust that is synonymous in any modern-day society. Most surprisingly, our own propane pundits seemed, in those heady early days of the War on Terror, unaware of a 50-year history of torture by the Central Intelligence Agency, nor were they aware that their enthusiastic proposals gave cover to those in the Bush administration intent on reactivating a ruthless apparatus. In April 2004, the American public was stunned by televised photographs from Iraqi's Abu Ghraib prison showing hooded Iraqis stripped naked, posed in contorted positions and visibly suffering humiliating abuse while US soldiers stood by smiling. As the scandal grabbed headlines around the globe, Secretary of Defense Donald Rumsfeld quickly assured Congress that the abuses were perpetrated by a small number of US military, whom New York Times columnist William Safire soon branded creeps. These photos, however, are just snapshots of a simple brutality or even evidence of a breakdown in military discipline. What they record are CIA torture techniques that have metastasized like an undetected cancer inside the US intelligence community over the past half-century. A survey of this history shows that the CIA was, in fact, the lead agency at Abu Ghraib, listing Army intelligence to support its mission. These photographs from Iraq also illustrate standard interrogation procedures inside the gulag of secret CIA prisons that have operated globally on executive authority since the start of the President's War on Terror.
For nearly half a century now, I've made my living as an actor. In this role, I participated in the telling of many stories. They were set in many different cultures and involved people from all races, religions, and political beliefs. But today, I want to tell you some different stories. Stories that contain some bleak and unacceptable statistics. Facts that affect us all in the world we live in. 1 in 3 women are beaten, coerced into sex, or otherwise abused throughout the world. Look around you. 1 in 3 women. Every year, 8 million small arms and 16 billion units of ammunition are produced. More than 2 new bullets for every human on the planet. Enough to kill us all twice over. 20,000 people worldwide are on death row. Beheading, electrocution, hanging, lethal injection, shooting and stoning are still government-sanctioned forms of execution. And we claim to be civilized. Torture is commonplace. Refugees suffer unnecessarily. Companies sacrifice human health and even life for profit. But this isn't a movie script. These stories are real. This is the world in which we live. And these are the lives of our fellow human beings. But we don't have to accept it. Amnesty International is a movement of ordinary people from across the world. We stand up for truth, justice, and freedom is denied. Human rights are ours by birth. They cannot be given or taken away by any individual, organization, or court. They are inalienable. They belong to all of us. Protect the human is our call to action. It shows we celebrate our shared humanity and have the determination to protect it. This is our story, and we are all players. By the year 2010, we want 1 million people in the UK to stand up for humanity and human rights. Be one of them.
Even though it's banned under international law, torture is not a tool of justice, it's terror. And it's wrong under any circumstance. Amnesty International is urging governments around the world, including the United States, to stop torture. Making a difference is easier than you think. The first step is making your voice be heard. Make some noise to stop torture. Take action at Amnesty International's website.
Jimi Hendrix did an extraordinary rendition of All Along the Watchtower. But in today's America, extraordinary rendition has a whole different meaning. Like say you want to put the heat on this dude, a little zit zit, just a little slap around. But we can't do that in America. Is it okay if we ship him over to Syria and they kind of put the screws to him to find out what's going on? We take him off the American soil and put him somewhere else to do it.
Ouch. Oh. Okay, to a whole trial?
Well, hold him and then torture them and then maybe a trial. But don't you think these people are so out of control that way that we've just got to lay it down with like zero tolerance? Boom, we got to put these people away.
You do not torture people. There's ways of doing it.
Yeah, we let the Syrians do it.
No.
You know, you get more bees with honey.
Okay,
Yeah.
Suppose you got some bees that might have some information. Is it okay to pull off their wings?
No.
Because we agree not to hit the kids, and that's the way our house runs. But sometimes, when the boys act up, I got a neighbor down the street who's not afraid to haul off, and I send him over there for a little smackdown.
No, that's wrong.
That's wrong?
That's wrong.
But it's not me who's doing it.
It's just like, you know, having somebody commit the crime for you.
There must be some kind of way out of here.
Here I have a diary of Binyam, and I'm gonna read from his diary for you. I refused to talk in Karachi until they gave me a lawyer. I said it was my right to have a lawyer. The FBI said the law has changed. There are no lawyers. You can cooperate with us the easy way or the hard way. On the first day of the interrogation, Chuck said, if you don't talk to me, you are going to Jordan. We can't do what we want here. The Arabs will deal with you. It was when I got to Morocco that they said that some big people in Al-Qaeda were talking about me. They told me that the US had a story they wanted from me, and it was their job to get it. They talked about Jose Padilla, and they said I was going to testify against him and big people. They cut off my clothes with some kind of doctor's scalpel. I was totally naked. They took the scalpel to my right chest. It was only a small cut, maybe an inch. At first, I just screamed. One of them took my penis in his hand and began to make a cut. He did it once, and then stood still for maybe a minute, watched my reaction. It was an agony, crying, trying desperately to suppress my feelings, but I was screaming. There was blood all over.
We do not condone torture. I have never ordered torture. I will never order torture. The values of this country are such that torture is not a part of our soul and our being.
The Convention Against Torture prohibits recourse to torture, cruel, degrading, and other inhumane treatment by or at the instigation of agents of the state for the purpose of obtaining intelligence or other types of information.